Today, we're going to learn a new language. And no, I'm not talking about Spanish or Japanese. I'm talking about the language that computers understand. Our guide on this adventure is one of the most popular programming languages on the entire planet, Python. And you know what? By the end of this short explainer, you'll have already taken your first 2 steps in speaking it.
I mean, think about it. We use computers for literally everything. But at the end of the day, they're just super fast, super obedient tools. They don't have their own ideas. They're just waiting for us to give them really specific instructions. Learning to code, that's just learning how to give those instructions. So how do we do that? How do we bridge the gap between our messy human thoughts and the computer's super logical world of ones and zeros? Well, we use something called a programming language. And we're going to start with one of the absolute best for beginners, Python. Now, what makes Python so special is that it was designed from the ground up to be easy for people to read and write. The code itself is meant to look a lot like plain English. And that focus on simplicity and clarity, it makes it the perfect place for us to start our journey. Okay, enough talk, let's dive in. It's time to actually get our hands dirty and write some code. And we're going to start with the most fundamental thing of all, getting the computer to say something back to us. And here it is. This is, without a doubt, the most famous line of code on the planet. I'm serious. For decades, Hello World has been the traditional first step for anyone learning to program. It's kind of a rite of passage, and we're about to see exactly how this little piece of magic works. Let's break it down. It's actually super simple. First, you see that word print. That's our command, it's our verb. It's a direct order telling the computer, hey, display something on the screen. Okay, so what do we want it to display? Well, that's the second part, inside the parentheses and quotes, hello world. That's the what. It's the exact text we want it to show, command and message. And just like that, you've written a working line of code. You've made the computer speak. That was fantastic, but honestly, it's just the beginning. Giving one-of commands is really useful, but the real power of programming, well, that comes when we teach the computer not just to speak, but to remember stuff. We do this using something called a variable. Now, don't let that technical name throw you. A variable is just a box. That's it. Think of it as a box you can put something inside, in our case, a piece of text, and you stick a label on the outside so you can find it again later. Simple as that. So let's see this in action. That first line, message equals welcome explorer, that's us creating our box. We're putting the label message on it, and we're placing the text welcome explorer inside. Then that second line tells the computer print message. Now notice something really important here. We're not using quotes this time. We're not telling it to print the word message. We're telling it to look inside the box labeled message and print out whatever it finds in there. And as you can see, it worked perfectly. And this right here is the crucial point. This is the big aha moment. Look at the difference. The first example, print hello world, is static. It will only ever do one thing every single time. But the second example, print message, that's dynamic. It's flexible. We could change the text inside our message box to goodbye or let's begin. And that same line of code would give us a totally different result. This is the difference between a simple calculator and a powerful app. So let's just zoom out for a second. We've looked at 2 very simple examples, but in doing so, we've actually uncovered the 2 foundational pillars of almost all programming. I'm absolutely serious. That's it. Number 1, giving the computer commands to perform actions. In the coding world, these are called functions, and printing is a great example. And number 2, storing information so you can use it later. These are our variables, our labeled boxes. And here's the big takeaway. Every single video game, every social media app, every website you visit, no matter how ridiculously complex it seems, is ultimately built by combining these 2 simple ideas over and over and over again. Commands and memory, actions and information. That's the whole shebang. So in just these last few minutes, you've actually done it. You've made a computer speak, and you've given it a memory. You now have the fundamental building blocks of all software. The only question left is, what are you going to ask it to do next?